are we here? What am I doing? You guys, what am I doing? What am I doing? I really don't know what I'm doing. Okay, where are you guys? Where are you? Mute. Am I doing the laundry again? Asked Jay McDonald. Yes. But I'm at home and I got kicked out of the washer and dryer, so I had to like take care of that really quickly before I came on. You guys, I mean, how many hours ago did I say I was going live? It just, not that long ago, maybe, I don't even know. I just discovered something, like during Mad Out, or just, my brain, I am so blown away right now. I cannot even think on just the mechanics of doing a live. And this is the thing, well, I was planning to share with you guys tonight, but this thing that has me so utterly shocked beyond belief is like the next step that it was going. And again, I'm still just trying to get all my brain together. You know what? Let's just look at this. What's going on with my brain? Because I am so, like, I did not see this coming at all. Oh my God. I will tell you what it is, but it's going to be like at the end. And it involves China. What is it? That King of Pentacles. The data king, the money king. Who's really the King of Pentacles here? So brain, spirit, please just put these thoughts on hold. Let me get myself together because we got to move on, because there's a lot happening and there's just this one thing that I have to get through and tell you guys, because you cannot lose sight of it. Because I know we're talking about J6 hearing and all that stuff. I don't know if that's the thing that takes down Don Julio and the GOP, okay? I really am not sure if this is, I mean, things will happen, but I'm not sure if this is the thing, okay? Let me say hello to you guys. How are you guys doing? Nice to see you. It is summer solstice eve. This is very warm. I think it's very pretty, but I need to move this out of the way because I just cannot even believe this. So the first day of summer, I believe, is overnight. I thought we were going to have this third quarter moon like at 0 degrees Cancer and 0 degrees Aries. Nope. It is going to happen like around 11 p.m., I think, on the East Coast, at like 29 degrees. The moon will be at 29 degrees, I think 45 minutes Pisces. The sun will be 29 degrees, like 45 minutes Gemini, around there. So this is really, truly about endings. And this is on the eve of another hearing on the first day of summer. Oh my God. And I believe it was either the new moon eclipse in Taurus, or it was a full moon eclipse in Scorpio. I can't remember, but the 29th degree was all over the place for Moscow and Russia. Okay. My God, my brain still. Let me say hello. Hi, Beth V, Carla, Margaret, Almost Empty Nester, Beth, Spiritual, Dot, Purple Sky, Rosie, Marby, Pammy, Donna, Deb. Hi, Deb. Nice to see you. Wendy, Plucky, Ellen Paisley, Sophie. It is miserably hot in Texas. Yeah, it is really hot. I'm hoping that with the change of season, like the ingress of Cancer season, that things will maybe cool down a little bit, because the moon is watery. I'm hoping we get some more water. I hope it tamps down the heat. However, we have both Mars and Jupiter in Aries, a fire sign, and that's what I think is really amping up the heat these days. Hi, Nancy and Rhonda. Yes, I was doing the laundry. Good morning from Australia, Flora. How is it over there? Okay, Cartomancy, old woman, zoomed out. Okay. Thank you, Paisley. I know what I'm doing. I got this. I hope so, because I'm still so stunned. Hi, Connie. Carol V, you're seeing the chat on the left side of the picture because it's the app that I'm using. And I guess I'll clean that up at some point. I've heard some people say that they like seeing that there. I just want to make a comment about the last excerpt video that I did, like the roles of ACB and Clarence. I know it was very stressful. I was actually looking for information about Ginny at the time. And this was an excerpt back in March 31st. And I know it was troubling for some of you to listen. I think it was a Demi Downer for Friday. But I thought it showed so much important information about like what their kind of back channel real roles are. Okay. Hi, Gretchen and Jody. Okay, and Electra. Okay, so brain, come on. So where do I start? Let me get this chart in here. I don't know if I mentioned this last week. The last live I did was for the full moon, which was on the 14th, Don Julio's birthday. Not a way you want to start a birthday. But was that like Monday last week, Tuesday last week? So what had happened the weekend before, this is my go-to deck, especially since J6, because I keep those extra cards in this deck because it gives me so much good information about how the government's communicating, who's like a foreign agent, and how people are communicating and specifically why and how they're doing it. But what happened was that weekend before last, I guess then, this deck felt like it suddenly went dead. Like, I'm done. I've done my job. We've done our duty. There's nothing else left here. It just felt empty. And since then, my cards have just really feeling like they're thinning out. They're like crinkling and kind of falling apart, especially that Knight of Pentacles. I mean, it is in bad shape. Like, you would think I could just spot it here from the corners. Like, look, do you see this? This is just splitting. What is this? What card is this? This is, Page of Wands, News. Oh, I wonder if they're cooperating. But, like, the color is fading on them. but it just felt empty. It was just very surreal, and I was told you need a new deck because whatever role this one was fulfilling is done and complete. There's nothing else to see here. We're done. So I just thought that was really interesting. And now that Knight of Pentacles does not want... Oh, here. I don't know if you can see this. Look at this edge. Coming apart. Tearing apart. You know, RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the couple of those lives I did back in August, September 2020, she said, pay attention to that Knight of Pentacles. I see there's another one. Discussions between people and plans. So, oh, who's this? The World. Look at that. Just coming apart. This is for global stuff. So, that happened. And then, I know I keep telling you guys that Ginny Thomas is in deep water, but holy crap, it's not just deep water. She is in this stuff way deep around the globe. She has some serious problems. You think like J6 stuff that she helped coordinate? No, it is much, much worse for her. Okay, so we need to, let me see. See, my brain just, we have to talk about this thing. Okay, this was a full moon in Sag back on June 14th. Anything stand out here for me? Okay, well, one thing was Mars conjunct Chiron. Chiron is the wound that is in the skies above us. Mars is energizing it, and that a wound would have to be healed. And it's been a painful week since, especially for the J6. But the other thing that happened, I believe, on June 16th, this is Mar-a-Lago. Trump Tower. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't think I got to tell you guys this one either. I talked a little bit about the full moon. We had 24 degrees Cancer on the ascendant, the rising sign. Not only is Trump organization, I use the Enterprise asteroid here on the ascendant, but this is that 24 degree Cancer critical degree. His Venus, his money, has just slipped over the eastern horizon, is just risen. That is his money. His values, none. But against the ascendant, right here, now in the first house at 25 degrees, is his Saturn. Obstacles, authority. So it's like his Venus and Saturn were always configured in a way that he could always like block things, not ever reveal where his money's coming from, not ever be able to reveal like who he's dealing with, because the combination of those two, it's like Saturn was always like a brick wall. You can't see this stuff. Well, the 24 degree mark, like the eclipses in 2019, served to cut and split apart, divide those two planets, so to separate that power and pry it open. That's why I call that the can opener eclipse. Well, here we go. This full moon that we had is behaving like an eclipse. It's not an eclipse. And holding that wide open. He has had zero ability to grab the reins and narrative about anything. That stood out. This was in Uvalde. Anything here? Oh, God, they're in trouble. This is Russia. And then this was China. We're going to get to the big thing about China. I'm sorry, you guys. I keep spacing out because I'm just still so stunned about what I discovered coming in here. But let's talk about what happened. So those things were happening with Ginny. Not going well for J6. But on the 16th, we got notification that there was a huge operation that was led by Interpol. And like I feel like I'm not even going to be able to tell you this correctly. this is just unbelievable. So I was so happy when I saw it because I'm like, finally, yes. So this happened on the 16th. Interpol worked with 76 countries. They had an operation that was called, let's see if this might buffer. First Light 2022. There were, how many? I gotta get my notes. There were 17 locations were rated. There were 4,000 bank accounts frozen, $50 million intercepted. It is the largest international raid bust that has happened. It started officially, what was it, March 8th, 2022 to May 8th, 2022. Stub invaded Russia on 2/24. I just thought that was very interesting that this happened pretty quickly. USA Pluto return was February 20th, okay? But what happened is that there were all of these raids that were done because it was about this global fraud, a global scam that was going on. This is the thing that I've like been seeing, and I've talked a little bit here and there with you guys, but it was to bust all the fraud that was going on with social engineering and telecommunications scam and fraud. Okay? So basically what it was is that they raided places of like call centers internationally. I still have not been able to like read the filing. These are just kind of the details that they gave us. Using and stealing personal identification information to steal, the typical, the banking stuff, and find accounts that were yours, and then using your personal information to say emergency, like this person needs help, or like they would have just enough personal information of yours to get people looped in. It was even worse for businesses. It's called is it the BEC? Business email something. And they've been scammed out globally, billions and billions of dollars. But what the telecoms did, aside from... Am I back? Buffering. Shockwave. Why does Texas GOP want to leave? Why is Israel suddenly... PM Bennett saying that, oh, his majority party, they have to be dissolved and we're going to have a new snap election? It's the same reason. It's because of this happening. Okay? And I know I just buffered the heck throughout this. I guess I'm going to have to come up with some keywords. I guess we'll just call this first. This raid that happened, basically because of the telecommunications, scam and fraud, and, using people's personal identity and their information, and social engineering fraud. and using social media and all the crimes that have been provoked. This is the big thing, you guys. I think there's an even darker back channel to this. I've been talking about telecommunications and data and how important it is to Don Julio and the GOP. But I always, was attributing it more to elections and election interference. Well, yeah, they can do that. But this is the step that has gone another step further. I think there's over 3,000 named suspects. This is on every single continent. This happened last June 16th, and we didn't even hear much about it. Oh my God, there's a whole other part to this too. So I don't want to be buffering, but it sure looks like a lot of stuff that we've talked about in the past. Tarot. Can you show me this up that was going on? We have this. That's it. But then there is this. This is first, because I don't want to say it out loud. Then there's the telepart and the social engineering part. This is the app on every continent. There was telecoms fraud. And it did what 3 things? And then there was the social engineering part. You guys, my brain is still like dead from what I was telling about earlier. Just stay focused. Here we go. The 6 Wands mob. Does that look familiar? Trump, Putin, Unji, Netanyahu. All of them. By the way, speaking of Netanyahu, Israel PM saying they need to have a snap election because their majority, it's fizzled. So we're going to have an election. And right now, if there were to be an election, guess who's the front runner? Netanyahu, even though he has a corruption case going on right now, just like Don Julio. So, the world mob, global crime, surveillance, telecoms. I've got your information. I'm going to watch what's going on socially. This is the Ace of Cups, the biggest, happiest reward for PewDiePie. This is how we've seen it. The thing that he always wanted so badly was this, that Donald would deliver. And there's your King of Wands. Putin, angry Putin, as Julio Putin. So this is that first light. The Knight of Cups. Remember, Don Julio would always offer stuff to him? The Knight of Cups. This is, I'm giving you an offer, or you're going to do this for me because, I've got compromat on you. Or it's like activating an event. I need this to have happen. It's covered up. See, this is my Carol card. This is when orders, directions are handed from a government to a person to carry something out. So reversed. So Interpol and First Light know that these offers, these exchanges, these frauds are happening, and it's at the behest of a government. So governments are running these. Oh, there goes my ear. My right ear is ringing. And so I always grab another. Oh, okay. Now the left ear is ringing. Okay, you guys, and I'm going to tell you, starting tomorrow, things are going to be pandemonium. Why is my ear ringing? This is a very, it won't stop. Left ear, left ear. What are you telling me? What's going on? Please stop. It's still going. The Queen of Pentacles, usually that's a nation with data. A plan they've put out against the Lovers. And the Empress. Ace of Swords, Nine of Cups. That was just, okay, so there's something, I think there is something going on this summer solstice eve, the eve of the J6 hearings, and it's just the same thing we keep seeing over and over, same players, same plans. The Lovers card, this is like nation to nation. We've had this plan out there that's been working really well for us with data and money and laundering because it fulfills the Empress. It fills Russia up. Okay, the ringing just went away, but that was really strong. So back to this first. This is the operation. We found out about it on June 16th last week. This is the thing. This is the thing, you guys. So governments, so if it goes like that, is saying, you know, it's reversed. You're not supposed to see that first is kind of undercover with these reversals, okay? But they know that there's a government saying, like, this is the fighting, the obstruction, this, and, like, breaking rules. It's just kind of observing the behavior, what's going on. The Queen of Swords, Interpol, the laws from other nations, because what could happen during this time that it was carried out, started March 8th through May 8th, is that countries could report to this. They had a special way of reporting of people you suspect, bank accounts you suspect, or like bank accounts that are not being reported for fraud. You know, like think about Deutsche Bank. How many times did they get away with like not reporting laundering, you know? So there was a period that nations were able to report. They carried this out for 2 months. That's the op. They know very specifically what they're looking for. We know there's kind of two-pronged that they're looking at. One has to do with telecommunications, which has to do with, you know, the information highways, the web around the world, personal data and personal information. It's like beyond phishing. You guys, these guys were so criminal that the, quote, money mules who helped carry out the fraud, they were able to launder massive sums of money, but because they had people's personal information, somehow they were able to launder the money through that victim's bank account. I cannot believe, now this is not the big thing that I can't believe, but so they were able to like get the reins of an account, carry out that money laundering. That person can't really do anything, and it just like the criminal doesn't have to open up bank accounts. We're just going to use your stuff and carry out our crimes. So the telecoms, there were the Queen of Wands. That is Putin to me. He's directing this stuff. There were 3 things that they were gleaning from this. They got the Ten of Swords, a way to ruin a victim, a way to ruin an opponent, but having enough information to, am I buffering? To stop people in their tracks, agencies, governments, to just be able to stop them. It allowed them to take action in what? With the telecoms. to keep going with their conspiracies. Like, they can't be stopped. We can stop all that and carry on with what we want and lay low, because this is software. You don't see it. We've got surveillanceware, and we're not traceable. That's like the telecoms part. Now the social engineering part, here goes my throat. Taking all that personal information, but the social engineering is also provoking a lot of movement, a lot of false flags. It is also provoking a lot of people to hook up with others and suddenly get sucked into human trafficking or forced labor. Horrible. So the social engineering part, the Page of Pentacles, a person's data, a vulnerable, innocent person with data, or finding a person and their data in order to, Five of Pentacles. This is trafficking, luring them into somewhere hidden. Five of Swords. That isn't just the mafia. This was the card that came up exactly for social engineering. The Five of Swords. We've been calling it the mafia card. You know, there are people on the ground creating chaos. It's all of that. And it's an attack. So being able to lure innocent people into deadly things and be attacked at the will of the emperor, the person who's in charge. So I can't even imagine how long this took to, we're going to leave this here, to gather, to happen, okay? And execute. I'm sorry, my brain is still, I'm just cannot believe this. So that is that. The other thing that happened, I don't even know if it was the same day, but here we find out about RIM. This is like a super extremist domestic, well, it's international, because it's from Russia, terrorist, white nationalist, white supremacy organization. It's like the worst of the worst. It stands for the Russian Imperial Movement. But that's the name of that supremacy organization, the RI, and so we just call it RIM, okay? So they've been very active. Here we have found out in the past that, P-Boys and the other white supremacist group, OKs, all of them have trained either over in Russia or with Russians that came here to the United States to train them, okay, in tactics. There are two leaders. I do not even know their names, but I think they might be from Sweden. There was one guy from Russia. But they were sanctioned heavily last week. The one had a very unique status for terrorist declaration because he was such a global threat, like a global network, like the highest of terrorists, the worst of the worst, because this guy was traveling all over places, whether it was in Europe or it was in Russia or it was, in those Eurasia, South America. This is why this white nationalist movement has gotten so much traction, because they've got people training them everywhere. And this is aligned then with, if you're going to go far right, you're going to run into far right governments that are aligned with this. Is this making sense? I just need to check in with you guys, because I'm slowly reviving my brain back to this. Sequoia, yeah, I know. I'm so tired of hearing what the Russia has to say. If you've noticed the last couple weeks, MSM has totally stopped reporting on the war. And then we were kind of spoon-fed some stuff about, Putin's dying. He said, well, he's not healthy. Or we hear about how, Ukraine isn't doing so well. And we're hearing about how countries are now favoring Putin and Putin's getting the upper hand. It is very concerning. But I don't know why they stopped reporting on it. I don't know if it's because of the J6. I don't know. But I think that this Interpol thing that happened from March 8th to May 8th, I think this is why Putin has accelerated his war and he's not going to withdraw, and why he's gotten so extreme. I would like to see the correlation with gas prices spiking during this time, and every time that there was a bust, right? And with, the entire globe is dealing with inflation and price gouging. And I think it's because of this thing that happened. They know their backs are up against the wall, and they know that they're caught. And so it's like he's all in, okay? The other thing we never hear about is China. Why not? China now is buying Russia's oil. China every once now and again says, well, we support them. It's a bit unnerving what's going on with China. But wait, I will tell you guys the big secret at the end as we get to that point, okay? So, reset, someone's paying them. Makes sense to me, yes. Queen, I'm making, thank you, Pamela. Janine Adams, are we doomed or not? Janine, I don't think we are, which is why my brain is still trying to metabolize all this. Okay, yes. Okay, so that happened. So, you know what? So now we kind of know what this Interpol, what they intended to do. This is the telecoms part. This is the social engineering part, okay? Show us. I want to see the Russian imperial movement. The Four of Wands. Is that the Kremlin? Because as I've been looking at RIM in the background, I can tell zero difference between RIM and like the mafia government in the Russia. You cannot separate this, in my humble opinion, from the Kremlin. Again, it's like mercenary group, doing the bidding and all that. So, tarot, I would like to see how RIM relates to this Interpol thing that happened. Okay, so how does RIM relate to... Ooh, I'm told just leave them there. And do you have a challenge? No. There's no challenge. Okay. Telecoms. And RIM 1, 2. Well, that felt easy. And social media. Social engineering. They're calling it social engineering. I think that is a great... Oh, what's going on? Social engineering RIM. Okay. 2. Oh, I'm not supposed to see this. Something is very annoyed with me. Okay. Whatever. Aha! That darn 7 of Cups. How many times have I talked about the GOP crimes? They hide their crimes behind the Seven of Cups. They move the goalpost. They say they're going to do something, but they do something else. There's a Seven of Cups with the star. Okay. The star, that's their stuff that they love to do is RIM. And, you know, they like to be in disguise and blend in with everyone else so that nobody can see them. And that's how they get their justice. Remember, I used to say Pooty, I thought would come up as the justice card because he's got this sword that he's going to look at you and slice you all up and get things the way he wants them. There you go. Five of Swords. The Mafia. Social engineering. I see Pooty all over. So this is RIM, the Russian imperial movement, that extreme white supremacist group. So as it relates to first light that happened, we found out about it on June 16th. Over here, this is how it relates to it. Let's see. There you go, the Ten of Pentacles, the dynasty. This came up a lot is Trump dynasty. This came up a lot is China. I would say maybe this is like Russia, China, but their imperial movement, white supremacy, white nationalism, because they want their perfect world. Empress, Mother Russia. Where was that card? Everything goes back to Russia to be filled up. This is how it relates to Interpol. Covered in the King of Swords. So the King of Swords, these are courts, Interpol, these are leaders of nations. Am I reading this right? RIM and Interpol. This is the relationship to Interpol. So this is what Interpol is going after with them. With the 76 nations are involved with this. Found the Ten of Cups. There you go. The happy white family, white nationalists, their movement. Because they're like at these tens. They're taking stuff, smash and grab, and taking whatever they want. How does RIM relate to the telecoms? Where was this fight? Up here. This was Interpol, first light. What it meant. The government, this is government directed. The Five of Wands reversed. With telecoms, we're in with the telecoms. We cannot be seen. RIM relates to this. The Six of Cups going back to the past. Make America Great Again. White supremacy. Balancing Two of Pentacles. Remember, I've said this for cable. Transferring data. The cables go around one server to another. We get more information to another. Keeping that in balance for timing to execute something for luck with them. When we get down here to social engineering, we set stuff up. We provoke things. That's what they do. They do this. The Queen of Pentacles. Where is that? This is another nation. I already lost it. Queen of Pentacles. A nation with data and money. The Knight of Swords with intelligence. I just got this is Israeli surveillance to separate people out socially and get on with their plan. You know what? Just a second. Come on. My dog is outside my door playing with his little squeaky trying to get my attention. Hi, I see you. I see you. Does this make sense? Okay. Oh, congrats. Someone is saying congrats. I'll have to look at that later. Okay. So there is an overlap with this. So RIM, the Russian imperial movement, There are two dudes that kind of lead this who have entered the United States like in 2017 to train people. And so these guys were also heavily sanctioned. But like I've been saying all this time, we've always known the GOP set stuff up, social engineering, provocations, get things going on social media. We need a distraction. That's also social engineering because it takes everyone's attention away from something. And there's always been that discussion with what's going on with telecommunications. I've always wondered what's going on off of Mar-a-Lago and Florida, and what is going on with data transfers involving these heavily GOP states like Florida, Texas, Arizona, Pennsylvania. What is up with that? So as I was looking, I'm going to tell you who. So of course I did my horoscopes, because I'm like, who's involved with this? Who is doing this? Well, let's just talk about RIM, the Russian Imperial Movement. Okay? Because it has a relationship with this Interpol thing that happened. So the cards that we have, the Tower, it relates to the militias, the pressure that was put on Pence. It relates to fake electors. This is what you have to know. So there are very specific. Here, I have to tell you this part now. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, and my brain is still, it's like slowly digesting stuff in the background. So what this thing did, I'm talking about June 16th. We found out about, we're going to call it first, because I have already buffered on this. So on June 16th, we found out about first light, but I'm just going to call it first, okay? 76 countries and Interpol, okay? What now? Yes, this has to be related to it. Is it related to it? Or I know it's related to it, but. Oh my God. I don't want to get it confused. So there was a botnet in Florida that was taken down. There, the botnets, those things that, the bots that attack social media, the bots that send incessant texts, the bots that send all the emails, the bots that run interference. So there was, and that is called, God, I wish I could find this. Okay. Show me this. Show me it. I'm like gonna lose this all again. That's RIM. Please. There it is. Our socks. That is the botnet. Now, in Florida, they operated out of a website called, every time I see it, I see VULTURE. This was a website in Florida. It used servers in Florida. And what this thing did is it hacked millions of devices and computers, like with dormantware, malware. And they did this globally, okay? So I'm just like, there's no way that this Russian operation can go on in Florida without Don Julio knowing, without DeSantis knowing. And surely this is something they absolutely want to protect. If, part of the Interpol thing first, they're getting so much telecommunications information, personal information around the globe. And the thing is, their criminals, the money launderers, are making so much money. And they're laundering it through victim accounts, like I said earlier, okay? So I'm like, so as I was reading to you, RIM, that is that extreme white supremacist group, the Russian Imperial Movement. Okay, these things are all related. Like, these are the people. This is the botnet. This is the server. And they all serve to take information, disrupt social media, and exploit people and hurt people. So, as I was reading, so this is the Terrascope for RIM, just RIM. On the ascendant, the thing giving life for RIM is the tower moment, creating a lot of problems, and that related to the militias, Pence being pressured, the fake electors. I'm telling, louder milk has shown up all over the place. The GOP. I want to know, GOP, what's your relationship to our socks and this? Don Holio came up with this relationship, as did, so I did a Terrascope over Moscow and wanted to know relationship with RIM. This is Russia's social engineering and their reaction to what's going on with our J6 committees. It's the reason why remember there was a delay last week with the January 6th hearings. It had to do with this. And finally, Koch Freedom Works is now showing up, and Koch Freedom Works has been all over this place. The Lover's card, you know what the Lover's card is, but that just came up in their function and what they do. You guys know what that card looks like, but so, holy crap. Okay, let's keep the brain straight. Where's the Lovers? Show me some Lovers, just for effect. Because Lovers, remember, that is person to person talking. The Lovers is nation to nation. We're talking Florida. And this is not Florida in the United States. This is Florida in Russia. So this was the card, you know, in that first house of identity, who I am, how I'm energized. Like for this week. The Uvalde DA had this here. The Easton and Ginny correspondence. Okay, I'm talking about the Russian Imperial Movement. Ginny and Eastman. First house, this is who I am. We have Attorney General Merrick Garland. We have, what is this? I can't even read my writing. We have Don Holio's relationship to RSOX and Vulture. We have the Republican Party, and this is their secret regarding why they go to the Bahamas. Okay? Remember Gates going to the Bahamas? The GOP has their retreats in the Bahamas. It involves the freaking Bahamas and something about Alexei Navalny. I don't know why he shows up here. He is showing up in places where there's like cracks and vulnerabilities with this whole thing going down. Okay? In the second house, right? So if imagine this is like a horoscope. But only one person had a card here in the second house. This is related to RIM. We had the Three of Swords, heartbreak. This is Ray. Ray, FBI Ray, going after all of the heartbreak and heartache and betrayal happening with our nation. Now, the comms. They have intercepts with comms, you guys. We've got the Ace of Cups. This is the thing that Putin really, really wants. And the Temperance. They need someone to mediate information here because this is something from the Russia. And we have China shows up here. Stick a pin in that. China. Why we had the J6 delay. And then Susan Rice is over here. Remember, Susan Rice is like the advisor to the president on domestic policy to make sure things are being carried out. She's quiet, but she's doing stuff. Now, over here is where it gets really interesting. In this area, this is your defenses, your people, your clan. This is where you hide out and you protect and defend your people. We've got 3 things here. We got the Fool, we've got the Knight of Cups, what I'm offering you, and the Devil. Like, so this is your core. Again, this is about the Russian imperial movement as it relates to first. The thing that Interpol carried out last week. We have, this came up in Moscow. This came up for China regarding, because I'm like, what's your relationship with Ginny? We've got China, Ginny here. We have Ginny right next to it on her relationship with SCOTUS. You see where this is going? How deeply she is the one. Her and Eastman are the 2 that keep showing up all over. Like if I was to like throw up over all my teroscopes, it involves them. Like on every single one of them. There are groups that just are not involved. People just, she's all over everything. We have their correspondence. We have Louder Milk is nearby. Navalny shows up again. The Knight of Cups here. This is the VULTRE website that's hacked millions of devices. And Eastman. Eastman freaking knows you. Okay, Eastman. Oh, I have like the saddest look on him. He knows. He freaking knows. Eastman. Jeez. I just need to do this as an example. Oh my God. Wait, no. Show me VULTR, this website. Nope, that's all I want to show you. It does this. That website. And Eastman, what's your relationship? Ginny. GOP in general. Florida. This location of Florida. And DeSantis. There you go. There's the devil. Did I not tell you? This part of defenses, we had... your clan, your people, what you do. The devil. This is your defense. This is the thing that's being protected and disseminated. The devil shows up for me as the rusher. This is the horrible, nasty thing. They're all tied to... Oh, there goes my throat. There goes my throat. This is why nothing gets done, because they're all tied to this. Because they're transmitting stuff and people. They're all freaking spies. And they're trying to get away with it and steal stuff, okay? So, oh my goodness, thank you. So, this is that VULTR website, the Russian site hosted on servers in Florida that is served to hack millions of devices and computers worldwide. Ta-da! There's my page of cups. I have told you, how many times have we seen this? This is like good news to them. Hey, it's like artificial intelligence. It's getting the ultimate news or response that you want from someone who's been provoked, who's been hacked, who's been surveilled. It does these 3 things. The Queen of Pentacles. A nation has all the data. Yes. Yes. The vulture is the point of origin for what? Four Swords, the software, the thing that is dormant on all these devices. And the Knight of Pentacles with the government. So people in Florida as bad actors in government positions. This is what it's doing. This relates to Eastman. Making our good luck. They needed Eastman to turn over this election. I can't even imagine what were you being threatened with if you didn't. They were coming for him. They were coming for him. Yeah, he had the mob on him. You better overturn this or else. Ginny. Voter suppression. Ugh. She offers so much stuff up. What is she offering? She's part of the conspiracy. She's part of, you guys, she shows up all over the freaking place. This is a Republican Party. Here goes my throat. This is their agreement. This is their agreement. They know they are in agreement to do what? For power and money. It's a huge, huge arse opportunity. And there's a lot of bad news coming out. They also make bad news for their opponents. So I feel like whatever's happening in Florida is also happening in Arizona and Texas, where these extremists are. This relates to Florida. Wow. So they can get justice for what they want. They can bypass courts. They can write their own rules. But this VULTRE website with the hacking does justice for the GOP in Florida. And DeSantis, he is in the mix. In the secret discussions, the dream card to plant what? To provoke, to plant, to help with the scheme that's going on. This totally involves the NRA. It involves the Bahamas. This, I think, is what's going on with Matt Gaetz. And let's look at Greenberg. Greenberg, what did you give? I think this is why Greenberg keeps getting called in to, you know, he gets an extension on his sentencing date. How are you guys? Let me check in. How are you guys doing? Hi, guys. Okay, you guys good? There's a paper shortage. Oh, my gosh. Yep, it totally fits. Okay, will this finally end to Satan's power once it is found out? Electra? These guys are freaking out. I have not been able to look that deeply into it. But when I tweeted the other day, what if the thing that takes down Don Julio is not even related to January 6th? What if it is something on a much bigger scale? What if it's like the international rule of law takes him down before we do? I mean, that kind of like relieves a lot of pressure, because there is, if we jail him, that sets a precedent for jailing an opponent. You know what I mean? This has to be managed very delicately. But like, this is something that's kind of out of our hands and much bigger. And of course, we've all been living and breathing this whole hacking business. There goes my throat. Everybody with a social media account has had to live through this crap and with their families. I mean, how many of you have had your personal information stolen? I have. You know, we've had to get, you know, cancel things and have things reissued because of the financial piece. Just a second. Are you done, buddy? There you go. Okay. So he's done. He's had enough with this subject. So I think this, let's find out. Joel Greenberg, what did you give up in relation to the, you know what, wait, first, I need to do... I have to add Bahamas over here. Let's add Texas. Who else do we need to add? We'll add one more state. Arizona. This Eight of Pentacles. You know how I get in these astrology cards, there's a card called, I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place, Pisces, I believe. That's the card. That is the big secret that they are covering up. They're going to hide. And it's the one thing that nobody can ever know. And I've like been trying to figure out what is the big secret. It's the Eight of Pentacles is the big secret. And it's this whole big operation that they have been trying to hide. They talk about so many other things, but they never ever talk about this. They just, but this is a thing, the hill they want to go die on. Where is it? Pisces, I believe. That's it. That's the big arse secret. And this is the card on the bottom with Joel Greenberg. The big secret. I think he gave up the big secret. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just put that right there. What is this? This is that website, VULTRE, that's related to the hacking and the Interpol thing and the RIM, the Russian Imperial Movement. What did you give up about all this? Oh, I don't think he's done with this. I don't think he's done with this part. That's still evolving. What is this down here? This is Eastman. As it like relates to Eastman. I don't even know if he knows him. To Ginny. Oh, boy. Oh, he knows Ginny. That's enough. What is this? The GOP? Huh. What did you give up about Florida? DeSantis. Where is it? It does not, I'm sorry, I got to take this off to the side because it does not want to show. It's so funny how my cards kind of get, here it is. What else? There's another one in here. What did you give up about Texas? The Bahamas. I just got NRA in my head. And what about Arizona? Three of Pentacles? That's what we had for DeSantis. That was DeSantis over here. His secret discussions. He gave up stuff on DeSantis, you guys. He gave up stuff on freaking DeSantis. Mar-a-Lago. Yep, he gave up stuff on Mar-a-Lago. Did you give up Mar-a-Lago? Knight of Wands. He's talked with the FBI. He's talked with all those people. They have taken action based on what he's told them. This Knight of Cups again. This is that site. Where is it? And that's the Page of Cups. This Knight of Cups. Wait, this is it. This is Ginny. Okay. This website, VULTRE. How that information was so specifically designed to target, get in, get out quickly, and like getting pummeled with something. You like artillery coming in and hitting targets. Five of Swords, there you go. This is the card for social engineering. That website, okay. the Knight of Pentacles. How people, here you go, right here, it's a match. The Knight of Pentacles. This was a person who was getting paid and helping out the government, through the government. He gave that up. The Six Wands mob, the transnational mob. Why is this? That's still evolving, because the challenge is the United States of America and getting this necessary support. They need more information here. This is what he gave up. Relates to Eastman. Eastman was hiding something. It's not that he necessarily knew Eastman, but he worked and interacted with a lot of lawyers like Eastman, okay? So, and those lawyers like Eastman were part of the conspiracy. And because they were lawyers, King of Swords, they could just kind of rewrite laws, rewrite filings, and just kind of run amok and abuse the system. Regarding Ginny, he has. That's the crime and corruption. This Nine of Swords is crime and corruption. These are crimes committed with Ginny. Four of Swords, there you go. That's the software, the malware, and the time. So she freaking knew. She knew. You guys, she was showing up everywhere. I'm like not surprised to see this now. A week ago, I would have been like, what? I know she's part of trying to overthrow the government. Why would she be involved with this? Because she's one of the people in our continent, with our nation, who was the specific person, Temperance, to take stuff, like all these spouses are back channels. The GOP. Yeah, he gave a lot of information about the GOP. This was having power and defeating enemies. But what kind of... And that was the plan. That was just the plan that they would put out there on how to defeat people. For Florida, the state, there you go, Temperance. Blending information, taking information in from that website VULTRE, using the bot network, using that information to provoke situations on the ground, funneling that information back with the Russian imperial movement and targeting situations and things and personal data. DeSantis. I think there's some judgments on him. DeSantis would use this information to target and judge. This is why he's making these dumb-ass proclamations and judgments and executive orders, because they're consolidating power. They have to protect themselves. In terms of Texas, he gave up Russia. What about Russia? Because okay. Can you guys see this? Russia. That has to include Abbott. What about that related to Abbott? Oh. Is this Abbott defeating? Is this Abbott defeating? What is this time? How? There goes my throat. My throat. He's defeated. He is using this method to fight back and repel people all the time. This is why they always have the upper hand. Oh my God, wait till you find out about Uvalde. Then the Bahamas. There you go. That Tower card. This is where much of the activity took place with the Russian imperial movement, white supremacists. They could launder the information. They could launder the databases. This is a hotbed of activity for them. And over here in Arizona, the King of Pentacles, the Data King, reversed. What are you telling them about Arizona? Greenberg. How the mob, the Trump crime syndicate is operating out there, not only with data, but controlling who has the power there. Oh my God. Let me check in. How are you guys doing? Marie, text in here. We need a miracle. McConnell too. He made it his mission with the courts and obstruction in the Senate, but he is slick. Why are these idiots doing this? Because I think what has happened, because I think they have been working since 2008, 2009, at least. Tea Party, Coke. Coke was the back channel to Russia. Look at how weird our elections in the GOP have been. Since then, Eric Garland was saying on Twitter that this was decades in the making, since actually the 70s if you go back to the Reagan era and stuff that was going on. That is why they're doing it, because they've always done it. This is how they, rig elections, and wanting to move the United States to more of an autocratic nation with them in charge. You know, every time they get their tax cuts, it's a boon. They make a lot of money doing this for them and their friends. Okay? Yep, Pamela. Okay. So, who else is involved here? And I just got to this bottom part. We were talking about the Russian imperial movement. I was talking about that website. I will tell you some other people who are involved here. There was a home goods shooting last week. That's the page of Pentacles, social engineering. The Joint Chiefs are on this. They know. In the area of like public servants with that judge card, judgments against. This was Steve Bannon having judgments again. I think there's information given up about him. And we also have Donald Trump again and his relationship with that VULTRE. In the area here, when you're talking about, I'm sorry, this is so messy. When we're talking about this 7th house, and these are like your partnerships or your opposition, we had the 6 of Swords here, reversed. This is related again to the Russian imperial movement, the white supremacist thing that is training people with this nationalism. Uvalde came up here, as did Donald, as did Koch, as did Eastman, as did the Department of Justice in regards to Donald Trump. They have him nailed with this VULTR stuff. And how Russia perceives Ginny Thomas. She is their partner when it comes to this, which is like no separation from Putin. You guys, she is in so much trouble. As we got over here to this area, this 8th house of shared resources, well, the 8 of Wands came up. Doing this quickly, the only thing that came up here nearby were the 76 countries. But when we show like ownership and power in this teroscope, the 8 of Pentacles came up. And that is the big secret. And why they put so much pressure on Pence. Because we've got the Russia involved. We've got transnational websites and bot networks that are ripping everybody off and creating fear. Over here, when we're talking about like the 9th house, your faith and the law, we had a lot about, this is about Russia regarding Donald. This is what's going on in San Diego. And like, if you want to think MasterCards, we have San Diego again. Oh no, I'm sorry. This was actually the 10th house. What's crowning them? So everything I said, but what's crowning them? Let's go back to the law, because this 9th house of the law, guess who shows up is Matt Gaetz. It's Ginny and this vulture site. Seditious conspiracy and Putin. This is lands far away. This is like the bigger, badder, worser conspiracy going on. in your networks. We have Interpol showing up in San Diego. The secret is this Justice card. We've got the Uvalde DA. We've got Biden knows the secret. President Biden knows the secret. We've got Uvalde. We've got the GOP and their relationship with this hacking, telecommunications. The hidden enemy are the militias here. Ray. And here we go with China again with Ginny's emails. So, okay, you guys, this has taken me like days and days and days to figure out. And I know this was long and lengthy, but this is the thing. This is the thing. My head's kind of spinning. But I still haven't gotten to the big, big, big thing that I think we can make this leap next. Because I think I got this. You guys got this? Hi, Marjorie. Yeah, Leslie, totally corrupt with the investigators. Marie, DOJ is on Uvalde. Hugger. Hi, Hugger. Greeter hugs. Yep, got it. Thank you, Jay McDonald. Yeah. And I still have to check out the news. I know, oh my God, are we in our quarter moon yet? Because this moon goes into Aries. You guys, I cannot even describe what tomorrow's going to be like. And I can't even describe like a week from now what that's going to be like. And I can't even describe the week after that to like July 7th. Hopefully by then, like most of this stuff comes out, but it is, there's nowhere else to go. Like I said, this deck quit on me about a week, 2 weeks ago. Like, we're done here. There's nothing else to see. We're going to move on. And I think that's why I was seeing Attorney General Merrick Garland just so proud. And I feel like the administration and everyone, they're done. But they've been overseas doing some stuff. And I think that this is what this big thing relates to that is coming up that I have to reread it, but I know I wrote it down correctly. You guys know, for the last several months, I keep saying, you guys, China's involved. China has to be, there goes my throat. You guys know my throat tightens up when I'm hovering over something. I've been saying China is involved. They're sponsoring. It's like the cards are like telling me like Putin's not even really in charge. But they have this agreement to just keep going forward. It's just totally crazy and nuts. There's been a heavy piece of this related to China. And everything that is going on here, like I'm going to repeat again, Ginny is, I think that the hub of this big crime. I think we've got Ginny. Of course, we have Donald. I think we've got Bannon. Mercer was finally showing up when I looked into that. And then, of course, you have, like, Gates, but they're all busted because of Greenberg. But, like, Tarot, show me the core of this big secret thing that we're just finding out now through First and also RIM and Interpol and the telecoms and the social engineering. It hit the United States. I want to show me what the key players, the core players executing this, carrying out this. What does that look like? Three of Swords. Treason and betrayal. It's a government operation. They're getting instructions from a government. Like, what are you being told? This is the star. They are the star. What has to happen? This government. Here's your plan, the Two of Wands. This, get the data. Get the data. Data, data, data. The Seven of Pentacles. This Seven of Pentacles. That is, I have to find it. That is the hub. That is the core. Where is it? Seven of Pentacles. Because I was asking a question, Seven of Pentacles. Where is it? This came up. Julian Assange. The investment of Julian Assange. This is the investment in the telecoms. This is the GOP and the Vulture website. This is what energizes Ginny, the decisions they made about Navalny. This is the function of Mar-a-Lago. This is Ginny regarding SCOTUS. This is Lindsay saying, we're going to have to take away Social Security and Medicare. This is why we have these mass events. Tom freaking Barrack. Tom Grimes gave him up. When did Tom Grimes give up Barrack? Because I feel like the timing of this happening, March 8th to May 8th, with this Interpol thing, something happened with Uvalde and with Mark Grimes giving up information that suddenly accelerated everything. I know it was the war, but those two events really accelerated activities going on behind the scene. Here we have San Diego again. We've got Uvalde. We've got 76 countries in on this operation. This, at the foundation of this Seven of Pentacles and this core thing that's going on, we've got Donald down here defending it. We have the recon teams. We've got Eastman. We have Bannon's indictment. Biden is the opposition. The shared social engineering. Ginny with Arizona lawmakers. DC, we've got Ginny and Eastman's correspondence. We've got the USA and NATO as a threat now to Putin. Terrified. This is why he's doing his stuff. These are core players. This is what we do. So I just want to see how these guys relate as core players, because I think that they're the core. Roger Stone. What do you do? Ginny. Don Julio. Data, data, data. He's the good news. This is why they need him. So, Bannon. The Six Wands mob needs a core group here in the U.S. to fight, obstruct everything, and get things moving for the family, the nationalists. Roger Stone fights back, Seven of Wands, getting the upper hand because he's been given the plan on what he has to do to carry things out. Ginny is all about the timing, spinning their luck. Temperance, because she's the one, this came up again, who freaking takes the plan. And Temperance. The four cards I'm watching this week are Seven of Pentacles, the Temperance card, the Five of Swords, and the Eight Pentacles. The Temperance card, I forget where it shows up with Interpol and all that. She is the freaking, she's the hub. Donald, there you go. There he is. The data, he brings the good news. Bannon gets away with stuff, steals money, and he helps filter people out. This is your hub. This is their role as part of the hub with this whole thing. You guys got that? Okay. Okay. Okay, can I get on now to the big thing that just blew my mind? I still have to look at this some more, but there goes my head. I just feels like it's going to take off here. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Elizabeth, so much. So, the big thing. Let's see if I could get China. The big deal. You know what I'm talking about, tarot. China's got a role in this. And it's not what you expect. And I have felt like there's been kind of a void at the head of the nation of China. I know it's Xi, but kind of like Putin isn't really the head. There's something going on with leadership in these two nations. But anyway, let me China. This big deal, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'll explain in just a minute. I just want to get cards out. The moon, the outrage. Yes, it's Russia, China, but this is something that's been worked on for a really long time. Lunation to lunation, eclipse to eclipse. This has been, I think our intel this has been going on for years. Don Julio didn't know it because other nations were working on it. There were some in our intelligence that knew about it, but much like that ANOM app where all of the intercepts were sent to a third country party until June 2021 once Donald was out. That it's like that kind of thing. Been working on the emperor, the head guy, emperor behind this huge movement. This big secret to take over the world and get away with it. China has a very vital role that's going on. China needs to fight back. But the United States, you guys, holy shite, is breathing down their neck. China is in a very difficult position. And the big deal, as such, China is spinning in circles, trying to make of this situation and that situation and kind of hang on for some stability here. That stability card keeps showing up. So this big thing that's going on, the United States is all over them at the heart of the... There's an agreement! There's an agreement between China, the big thing, the United States is on their case because China is done. China is toast. Because they have all the data. This is how China relates back to this. They have they're the data country, and all these mofos are nailed. They got in trouble. There goes my throat. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. It's just... Dr. Nancy, China seems to have a false front. I'm glad you picked up on that so quickly because I did not realize it until just an hour before I decided to go live. Okay, so what is China doing here? I'll tell you what China's doing here. When they released, and then the people who are actually talking about this, there's a detail that nobody is talking about that I found. And I'm like, what? What? Okay, so as you know, we have to stay on this case because I swear to God, it's not J6 taking them down. It's this thing. So, sum up. First, light. Started March 8th through May 8th. Putin invaded on February 24th. 76 countries involved to clamp down on organized crime that is ruining the world because it's affecting the telecommunications sector and identity theft, people's personal information being weaponized against them, and, you know, and having stuff stolen from them. And it's also affecting social engineering. They are engineering the way in which people are interacting with each other, the way in which people are exploited. It's extremely dangerous. There are over 1,770 locations that were raided. They raided national call centers that were involved in telephone deception and email. There were over 4,000 bank accounts frozen and over $50 million intercepted. The money mules would launder the money through the accounts of their victims. I still can't get over that. There were other, and this also relates to people with forced labor, sex slavery, captivity in casinos. I did not know anything about captivity in casinos. Maybe some of you guys know about that. Stuff going on with fishing vessels, being stuck on a fishing vessel. And then people posing as officials, like criminals posing as Interpol. Who were those people that lived, was it in Texas, in that apartment building, who said that they were the FBI or they were agents? Again, that story disappeared, but they were impersonating federal officers. This is in that. So the country shared the info with Interpol, and they decided to get this thing going. I did not know this, but the first operation that did the same thing happened in 2014. It's the only time it was launched. We probably didn't hear about it because it happened in Southeast Asia. Think about those generals like Bruce Lee, who was part of a casino in Macau. How many generals have been part of casinos in Macau or abroad? Southeast Asia, there's been so much crime going on over there. This was the first time they launched it. So this was during Obama's term. It was 2 years before the election. But they knew what they were doing and they executed it. Fast forward 2022. First was carried out in the same manner with financial support of China's Ministry of Public Security. You guys, this was launched again with the financial support, Queen of Pentacles, of China's Ministry of Public Security. Freaking China was in on this. They were in on that. I can't even formulate the words. They were in on this. This is why we don't ever hear about anything about China. But then China pretends to be this, I'm buying oil from Russia. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Oh, Danielle, Kim Jong-un's brother was poisoned in a Macau-related casino. And Steve Wynn, I know, has his casinos when... Yep. Sandra, so China's the good guys here. I don't know what we're holding over China's head. I should throw some tarot cards. I think their backs were up against the wall, you know, with like solar winds and all this hacking and Russia, la la la. There is somehow we got China. And I know that the very first thing that Vice President Harris and Biden did, the very first thing that SOS Anthony Blinken and DOD Austin did was they met with the Quad, which is that Japan, US, New Zealand. Their first order of business was going to Asia for a free and something Indo-Pacific. I don't know if it's free and fair, Indo-Pacific. That was their very first order of business. That is the very first place they went to. I think they met with Japan. And then you think about all this talk with Taiwan. So I don't know what's going on. But like in 2014, they carried this out. So if they did this in 2014, they know the pattern to look for. In 2018, we found out last year about ANOM, the FBI encrypted app. I think, oh, here goes my throat again. I think that the FBI has the sizable market on burner phones. So all the while, GOP, all of them are negotiating with China. We've got Jared and those work visas. There is so much stuff going on. And I think Shinzo Abe was the first person to come to New York to visit Trump. And after Donald, the first place we went to was Japan. So that adds an angle about Japan. And we know Shinzo Abe, he did not leave office for his health. I wonder. Okay, I've got too many questions. How are you guys doing? North Korea makes its money through the Macau. Paisley, I think we find out about, yes, and also the Saudis, and all the stuff we've been finding out about 9/11. So I don't know, you guys, Biden's really smart. There has been a plan from the get-go. Remember, he never lost his intelligence, and he was a VP for 8 years, so he knows what's been going on. What do we have in China? What? Nope, not that one. Am I doing the crow? What am I doing? Oh, and on top of it, I will just sum up and tell you. Everything we've talked about tonight, like with intercepts and data and telecoms and hacking and all that stuff, of course, the last several months, you know, every time I do the Ukraine's Terrascope, I always say I don't understand how Ukraine is triangulating with Trump Tower and Mar-a-Lago. It's almost, I keep saying, it's almost like they have copies of intercepts, like they've got the soft. There's another thing going on with Ukraine, and okay, I have just asked way too many questions. Ukraine. I see it replicated over and over and over again with every single week, every lunation. Ukraine is on top of whatever's going down with Mar-a-Lago and Trump Tower in relation to China and Russia. What you doing? What do you know, Ukraine, about here with China? And relates to the U.S. And here, what did I say? This is China to the U.S. and this operation. What do you know about what's going on with this operation? The heart of the matter is this, and this relates back. Dun, dun, dun. The sun. The sun keeps showing up. Don Julio and all of them are terrified about the big reveal. The sun rises in the east, can also represent China, but this is Ukraine's card. We have the sun. The chariot. How things are moved. There you go, my Five of Cups card. I have always said the Five of Cups represents like Russia, China, when they come into a nation, they knock all the stuff down. Like they come in one of the cups in one door and they leave through another door, whether it's like malware or hacking, but they leave in a different disguise. This is Ukraine. What Ukraine knows about China and going on in the disguise, the Seven of Cups that is hiding the Knight of Pentacles in the exchange of all the money and the data. Holy crap. So, about China, Ukraine says, the Queen of Swords. They have the hacking material. They're the nation with the intelligence covered in the government, covered in the U.S. government. You look at that. They're covered in the government, the agencies. Because what do we have on them? The Four of Cups reversed. They have been told, hey, you want to do this or not? Because you have to. Look at that. The Four of Cups, the Eight of Cups. It leveled up. They know the pieces of how China is sitting and spitting. We've got the Lovers card. Here you go. Nation to nation. A nation has to launder and agree to blend that information. And the Empress is fighting for stability. This is a Taurus card. This is, I think, a Taurus card as well with Venus. 3, 4. This is Russia. Oh. What else do you know? How does China relate to all this? The Ace of Cups. The thing that is so desired by Russia. Give me another card with this Ace of Cups. Wait, I can't, I gotta. Oh my God. Ace of Cups and the Ten of Swords. The thing that is so desired. They have all the evidence from China going through the, I think they have the intercepts, and relates to the U.S. coming back. The Six of Pentacles. This, you know, this is like a charity card, but this is also the intercepts. One side, like I can hear what this person is saying. I can hear what this person is saying. I've got a record of this. I've got a record of that through a nation with all the data. And at the heart of this is the Five of Wands fighting. Who's fighting? The fighting that's, what is this fighting? Who does this represent? Three of Swords reversed. Nine of Cups. The Knight of Swords. All the fighting that's going on. We've got the Three of Swords, the betrayal. We've got records on that. We've got the Trump crime syndicate, the Nine of Cups. We've got the Knight of Swords. We've got all the intel. I'm telling you, Ukraine has the goods. They know what's going on. I just, you know, so this is still evolving. I don't know what the negotiations are, because this war has to end. But then at the same time, it's like, who's really in charge? What's being negotiated? They are still carrying out this op. We've got the hearings. I just feel like this is what's going to have to help pull it all together. You guys, is that kind of mind-blowing? Is your mind blown? My mind was totally blown. I can still feel it right in my brain, my left hemisphere, like exploding, like the after, you know, fizzle, the ashes. China's involved, you guys. They've got the intercepts. Isn't that crazy? Thank you, Leslie. You're the best. Marie Sutton, the forces are relentless. You said that at 11:11. Yes, and Biden's only been in office for a year and a half, having to deal with the coup, the J6. They have so much work that they have to get done. They need to stop him, but we have to get it right the first time. Could you imagine if any part of this big thing fell apart? If there was just one leak, if there was one crack, we can't pull this off. And now we've got a war in Ukraine, and we've got these people who are trying to get elected to office. But we have our second Pluto return on July, I think, 11th. These guys, I feel like they finally have reconfigured. They've, like the GOP, that they've, taken a step back, and they've gotten a new plan because the energies, the playbook is not working anymore. But they're going to get slammed in July with our second Pluto return. And I haven't even talked about what is happening these next 2 weeks. You guys, lay low. Just be careful. Be careful of your surroundings. I feel like they want to pull out all the stops, and, they want a war. The only way they can survive is with a distraction and with a war on the ground. And so those are other things that have to be cared for. But like I said earlier, this deck is done. It checked out 2 weeks ago. It's like it's all done. Now we are having to deal with, interruptions and people freaking out, and then them sending out more of like ops on the ground. And it's happening around the globe. Leslie, thank God for Biden, right? Oh, thank you, Dr. Nancy. The knives, yeah, spiritual seeker. I'm mind blown. Yes. Yes. So I'm going to repeat. Oh, there goes my throat. I do not like August. I especially do not like the weekend of August 5th. And then going into the full moon, that must be like around August 12th. Both those dates are on weekends. I do not like them at all. Okay? Now, we might have a sense of kind of like a little bit of a reset as we go into summer season with the ingress of the sun into Cancer. You know what? Are we? And because it's happening at night, and the moon, because the sign of Cancer is ruled by the moon has dominion over this season, and she does best during the night with her influences. So let me just look really quickly. What's going on here? Did we pass? Oh, God. Sorry. So during this live, we had our third quarter moon, which was at 29 Pisces. The sun was at 29 Gemini. Right now, hold on to your butts, you guys. The next 2.5 days are crazy. The moon right now is 0 degrees Aries, 20 minutes. The sun is still 29 Gemini, 48. By the time we get up tomorrow, the sun should be in the sign of Cancer, and it will have occurred overnight, but it will happen during the day on the other side of the globe. But the moon will be more tender and easier with the sun moving into Cancer in a night chart. Okay, so that is one benefit that we have. I have not looked at these charts. What else can I tell you? Oh my God. Just, there's so much stuff. What can I tell you? There's so much stuff happening, okay? So are we good? Are we good? So I think I'm going to end it here. I'm going to end it here because like now my brain feels like it's put back together and now you guys can have your brains blown away and process all this information. I still have to process this a little bit more to see what else comes up, but I think that this big thing is the big thing. J6 is a nice thing to talk about right now, but it is creating undeniable doubt that something needs to be done, and it's urgent. I think we're going to be okay, you guys. Be careful of August, okay? So you guys, you enjoy the evening. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you for your lovely, sparkling conversation. Thank you, wonderful moderators. Thank you so much for your generous donations. I so appreciate it. We will catch up soon. I will try to post when I can, but enjoy the hearings. Enjoy this little bit of a lull we have before things kick into high gear and soon. Okay? Good night, Sandra. Good night, Holly. Rob D, thank you. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Harold McGuire. Needs to watch again. Yeah, I need to watch it too. Oh, thank you, Diane. You're Gem Paisley, thank you. Thank you, Spiritual. Thank you, Pamela. And Robin. Rosie. I am one. Queen, please come again soon to tell us what is happening in the next 2 weeks. It's like everything's happening. And the July 4th, I'm very much looking forward to our birthday solar return because it's going to knock our socks off. And I feel like something is going to be seriously freed up for us in terms of how we get things done. Okay, very good. Okay. Take care, you guys. Thank you, McDonald, J. McDonald, Aspy, Marjorie, Carla. Good night, Strawberry. Buckle up, buckle up. That's right. Okay, we'll see you later. Good night.